What matters more, your skill as a barista, or is it the equipment that you use? Today, we're putting an amateur barista and a pro head to head. They'll both be using the same blend of coffee, but our amateur barista is going to be using a state-of-the-art $30,000 commercial machine, whilst our pro is going to be using a cheap and cheerful $400 home machine. Our baristas will then each make 2 espressos and 2 flat whites, which will then be judged by coffee professionals hidden in another room, so they won't see who made each of the coffees. Who will win? Let's find out.
Okay, so it's safe to say that we're putting both of you a little outside your comfort zones. Georgia, you're going to be using our cheap and cheerful domestic home machine. What's your thoughts?
I am not very confident, to be honest, Josh. I have never really had much experience with home machines before. I tend to make filter coffee at home and I'm very spoilt with the equipment that I use at work. So.
Fair enough. So you're looking forward to the challenge?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Well, there we go.
No.
Okay, feeling nervous. I like it. Josh, you're a whiz in our marketing department, so I hear you're really good with crayons and chalk and all those colourful pictures. How do you feel about this machine?
I'm quietly confident. I've bought and drunk a lot of coffee, and this can't be any harder.
Ooh. He's feeling very confident, people. All right, let's get into it. So you'll each have 10 minutes to set up your machines and get to know your coffee. After which you will then have 10 minutes to make 2 espressos, 2 flat whites, and then the judges will taste it. Whoever has the highest score overall will be the winner and will have their name immortalized on this beautiful trophy forged in the fires of Mount Doom. Before we get started, is there anything you guys would like to say to each other? Keep it nice, keep it friendly.
I'm going to take the trophy and your job.
Oh, talk to the temp, pretty boy.
I don't know what a tamp is.
Oh, it is getting fiery in here, guys. Your setup time starts now.
While they're setting up, here is a quick rundown on the equipment that they're using. Josh is using the La Marzocco Strata AV ABR, which features a 12-litre steam boiler as well as 3 independent saturated brew boilers with digital PID temperature controls. It also has high-capacity cool touch steam wands. It's handmade in Italy and weighs over 100 kilos. And he's also using a professional Anthem SP2 grinder, which comes in at just over $3,000. Georgia is using the base model Breville Bambino, which doesn't have a boiler at all. Instead, it uses a tiny thermojet heating system for both brewing espresso and steaming milk, which means that she can't do both at the same time. Bambino also features an 18-gram pressurized basket designed to help improve pre-ground coffee, a 3-second heat up time, a single-hole steam wand, and it weighs less than a cat. Oh, and we've also paired it up with the matching Breville Smart Grinder, which will set you back just over $200.
So Josh, how's it going so far? How are you finding the commercial system?
I feel like I've been stitched up a bit.
Yeah, why's that?
No one told me it sprays in your nether regions.
So you've caught a little bit of water. Where did that come from? Ah, the steam wand. Got caught out by the old steam wand trick. Fair
You should
enough.
put a warning sign on that.
And how is the coffee tasting? Have you started tasting that yet?
I haven't drunk any of it yet, but it looks like it's pretty tasty.
Yep. And do you know what the buttons do? Have you worked that part out yet? Know which is which?
I've pushed 2 of them, but I haven't pushed the swirly one yet, so that's next.
Okay. And Georgia, how are you going with the Breville Bambino?
I am like the unhappiest I've ever been in my life.
Unhappiest? That's such a strong reaction.
No, I think I've got something all right for the milk coffees. I'm still going to work on the espressos.
Okay, cool. Okay, time is up. Clean down your stations, get ready for the battle of your lives. Georgia, you are a pro barista. You have good familiarity with all our coffees. Do you think that might give you a bit of an edge over your competitor?
Well, yeah, look, I know what the coffee is supposed to taste like. I don't think I'm going to get quite there with this machine, to be honest, but we'll see how close I can get.
Yes, okay, cool. I love it. And Josh, how do you feel? Your preparation time, do you feel like you know what's what now?
I've got my tactics straight.
Yeah.
You go style over substance,
Okay.
speed,
Yes.
and worst case scenario, violence and bribery.
Okay. Well, my rates are pretty high, so, you know, I fess up the money when I need it. Right, okay. So to give you a breakdown of what's going on again, we have 2 espressos and 2 flat whites from our competitors. They are going to our judges at the back. One of our judges is Mike Ford, one of our head roasters and a certified Q grader who's going to be tasting these coffees. And surprise, I'm your actual other judge. So make sure the coffees are tasty. I'm drinking them. When you guys are ready and you've got both your espressos and your flat whites, put them down onto the saucer, ring the bell, and the lovely Freya will come and grab these coffees and bring them out to us hidden away. I'm gonna hire myself out the back with Mike Ford, waiting for these delicious coffees, and I'll see you guys real soon. Let's get started. Your time starts now.
1. 2 cups. I'm making it flat and squashed. Flat and squashed.
I'm still grinding the coffee. Yeah, it's taking a lot longer than the grinders I'm used to.
I've got 2 espressos which I made at the same time because I've learned that the 2 cup button means 2 espressos. That looks absolutely delightful.
Okay, thumbs up.
I'm on to my flat whites and I'm doing exactly the same thing but in a bigger cup. That looks delicious.
Are you sure about that?
Just get out of them mind games. Swirly, swirly, swirl, swirl. Okay. I'm gonna mean this to be abstract. No. Boom. Cheat. Do I know how to draw a swan? Sort of looks a bit like a lion, I guess. Oh, I've poured too much. It just doesn't look very good, does it?
Well, you've got 5 minutes to go.
Well, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna go again.
This is a first for me, but I've been spinning milk for quite a while, so I'm still kind of figuring it out. Can I use his hot water button to heat my jug?
No.
Can I use my...
Yeah, start.
Okay, well, they're just going to have cold coffee. Because this jug is so cold, when you pour hot milk in there, it's so cold, it actually takes a lot of temperature out of the milk. So whenever I split jugs, I always preheat. It's not being very malleable, this crema, so I'm trying my best, but it's really hard to pour in. And then we've got a rosetta.
3 minutes, you're laughing. I can tell you one thing you've done wrong. You've underestimated me. That is a whirlpool of magnificence. This one, hang on, I need to do it before I decide what it is. People will watch this and learn in the future. I'm making it NFT. It's a donkey lying down in a meadow on a warm day.
1 minute to go.
Right. Plan C, tidiest workspace. I bet I can tidy faster than you can tidy.
I really, really liked the milk, but I didn't like it at all in black.
Yeah.
And the other one, I had totally the other way around. I really liked the espresso, but didn't like the milk.
See, I like the richness on that, on the
So I got
first.
totally contrasting scores between black and white for each one.
Yeah.
Black and milk for each one.
Yeah, I would say the black one that I had for A was, yeah, definitely richer. The B one just lost it out for me, but our scores are pretty similar, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So they all add up at the end.
I like this. Okay, the competition is done, but before we reveal the results, I do need to find out from our baristas what they thought about the whole challenge. Georgia, how did you find using the Breville Bambino?
I mean, look, it did the job. I definitely wouldn't do it by choice, but...
Wouldn't do it by choice, you'd rather go back to your high-end machine? Fair enough. How did you feel about your coffees?
I thought they were a lot more acceptable than I thought they were going to be in the first place. So.
Did your plan come to play? Like, did it all work out?
Yes, somewhat.
Good.
The latte art was a bit harder with the texture of the espresso, but yeah.
You got there in the end?
I got there in the end.
Very nice. Josh, how did you feel about working on a high-end machine? Did it intimidate you? Did you get comfortable with it.
I think next we'll need a more expensive machine.
More expensive?
That doesn't meet my standards.
Fair enough. I hear you. We'll take that feedback on board. How about your strategy? Did that go to plan?
Style over substance worked. I think I carried that through.
Yeah.
Speed.
Good vibes all around.
Speed. Yep.
Speed.
So yeah, for me it's a win-win.
Yep. Great. Fantastic. Are you guys ready to hear the results of what the judges thought? Yeah, you guys are bursting into it. Let's get to it. So for George's coffee, judges did think that the espresso did not have much crema. It was very short in volume, more of a harsh flavor than the espresso from Barista Josh. It had much thicker mouthfeel and had a very strong flavor. The milk, it had great appearance. It was clean in texture. It had caramel flavors and slightly dissipated in the flavor, but it did have a clean finish at the end. Okay, so for Josh's coffees, the espresso, it had good crema. It held very good balance. It was slightly thin on the mouthfeel, but it did still have a clean flavor. Milk, not so good on the appearance. No latte art at all. Low cut with a very dry finish. How'd you feel?
Just so offended.
So offended. It's cutthroat, this industry. The judges thought for a combined score, George's efforts behind the bar totaled to a 6 for the espresso, and for Josh's espresso, it came to a total of 6. So you guys are tied currently. For the milk base, Georgia had 7.5. So to beat that, you need more than 7.5, Josh, and your score for milk was 5. For a grand total of George's coffee was 13.5 and Josh's coffee was 11. These are the results. So please, applause. Thank you very much, guys, for participating. The wonderful award does go to our pro barista. And what did we learn here today? I think the takeaway from here is that practice does make perfect. So now the scores have been revealed and we know whose is who. What do you think, Georgia? Does it take a machine or does it take skill to pull out a good cup of coffee?
I think it's a good combination of both. Practice definitely does make perfect, but also at the same time, things are much easier on a commercial machine.
Fair enough. And Josh, what do you think? Do you think some lessons are in store, or you're like, nah, get me some higher end equipment and that'll definitely get us over the line?
I'd like a tribunal to look at the results.
Okay, fair enough. We could go to tribunal.
That's the judging.
Yep.
That's the long and short of that.
I think it is pretty clear that skills do trump equipment. So at the end of the day, baristas, get out there, practice more, and your skills will come together. Talking about barista skills, if you want to up your own skills, be it at home or in the cafe, definitely click here at Josh's face and I'll show you how to dial in your espresso better. And until next time, stay stoked.
Oh, it's just so much better. Victory tastes amazing.